everybody, I got a request to do a video on a quilled butterfly, so we're going to do one today, and it's really simple. You just need a 12-inch strip of black quilling paper, a 6-inch strip of black quilling paper, and a 2-inch strip of black quilling paper, and this is for the body of the butterfly. So let's get started on that. With the 12-inch strip, we're just going to roll it into a loose coil, and I'm going to be using a quilling board today. You don't have to use one if you don't have one. I like it because it makes your quilling pieces uniform when you are doing like two sides of wings and stuff like that. Then that way they come out the same size. So that's why I like to use it. If you don't have one, you can just use a ruler and go that way with however you want your pieces to be. And that's the 12-inch strip. Then we're going to roll the 6-inch strip, and this is going to be for the butterfly's head. And a lot of people, when they're using a quilling board, they glue their pieces, the ends, while it's in the board. I've tried that before, and I'm not too great on the glue, and I end up getting it stuck on the board, so I always do it after. Now with the 2-inch piece, you're just going to fold it in half, and these will be the little, I guess they're tentacles. I don't know. I didn't do butterfly history to find out what they're really called, so I'm calling them tentacles. And you're going to roll outwards from your V, almost till you get to the end of the V, or the middle part of the V. So you're just going to roll outward, and do it on both sides. And if they don't come out even, that's fine. You can just play with them and make them how you want them. And that's that part. Now these we're going to go ahead and glue together. We're just going to put a little bit of glue on the ends. And with quilling, you just need a little bit of glue. It goes a long way. And we'll just hold that there for a minute. Okay. And do the same to the other one. Okay, so those pieces are done, and now to assemble the body, we're just going to make these two pieces into a teardrop. Well, actually I take that back. We're going to do the big piece into a teardrop, and then that one we'll just leave it like that. So you're going to squish the end together, and then you end up with a teardrop like that. Okay, and then that one we're going to leave like that, and then our little tentacles, and then we'll get started on the wings. So let's get started on the wings. What I've used for the large wings are 2 6-inch strips of pink and 2 6-inch strips of yellow, and you can use whatever colors you want. What I've done is just glued them together, and that forms just one long 12-inch piece. Same thing with the smaller wing. It's 2 4-inch strips of pink and 2 4-inch strips of yellow, and I've just glued them together. So those I've done, and it's really easy to do. And you just put a little bit of glue on the end of one, and get your other piece. And just stick that on top. Kind of play with it a little bit so it comes out straight. And just hold it there for a minute. And there's your pieces glued together. Okay? So, I'm going to do the shorter ones first. And it also doesn't matter what you start with as far as the inside goes. If you want the inside of the wings to be pink, then start rolling the pink first, and vice versa. I think I'm going to do the inside pink because it'll stand out, I think, a little bit more than if I did the yellow. So let's try that, see how it comes out. Okay, and we're going to put this in here on our quilling board. Oh, there. Do the other one. And like I said before, if you don't have a quilling board, you can use a ruler just to see when you're placing down your pieces as to what size you're going to need them. So if you need them, a 1/2 inch, you're just going to let that coil unfurl to a 1/2 inch, and you can get them uniform that way. I'm going to use my bigger quilling tool for this since there are longer pieces. So excuse the noise. Okay, so that one's done. Let that unfurl in there. Okay, and do the other one. I like the little battery operated thing, but sometimes you don't have as much control over how your piece is going to come out as you do with just doing it by hand. Because I don't know if you can see, probably not, but this yellow part is kind of sticking up a little bit. Hopefully when we glue it together you won't be able to notice that so much. So now we're going to glue the ends together just like we did with the body. And I'm going to go ahead and glue all these together, and then we'll come back and we'll start assembling everything together. Okay, now all of our pieces are all glued together. I've put them on this other board. It's just a styrofoam board. It came already with the plastic to protect it, and I like to use it because this is what I glue all my pieces onto because it doesn't stick. And that way I can use my pins to glue everything down. So I've had this styrofoam for years and years and years, and it's still holding up good. So let's go ahead and get everything glued together. We're going to start with the body. And I like to pin things down just that way, just so that things stay in place when you're starting to glue everything together. So I'm going to go ahead and glue that down. And then, so that your ends don't show, I like to glue down, I don't know if you can see that, that's where the end of the furl was, where I glued it. And that's the part that I'm going to put facing towards the end of the body so that you don't see it. So just a little dab of glue, and I'm going to go ahead and pin that, and that way that will stay together. Okay, so we have that part done. And then his wings, or her wings. For all 4 of these pieces, we're just going to make them into a teardrop shape. Same thing with where the end is that I glued. That's where I like to pinch. That way when it's glued together, you don't see that. So we're just going to make those into teardrops. You find that end, and it's that end there. I don't know if you can see. And pinch that into a teardrop. And they all don't have to be perfect, just however you want them. If you want them, you know, more uniform, just play around with them a little bit, and you'll get them to be the same. Okay, so there's all those. And now we're going to glue the wings on. Now if you want we're going to do a full butterfly, but I'll show you how to do a half butterfly also. So, I'm going to move this over here and this one over here. We're going to start by gluing this little wing on. Just to the inside of that little corner there. Pin that down. Okay, and then the big one, same thing, we're going to glue it down to this side. And you kind of want to squish it in there. Get it as far in as you can, and pin that down. And once I'm done, I'm probably going to squish these together a little bit more and maybe make this a little bit tighter. But if we were doing just a half butterfly, we would just add these right here, and it would be like one sitting on top of a flower or something like that. But since we're doing a full one, I'll go ahead and glue his little antenna on. And pin that. And then glue these. See, that's what's nice about having the plastic. If you get glue, you can just wipe it right off. Okay, so there it is, all pinned together. And we're going to go ahead and let it dry, and then I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. I've unpinned everything and taken it off the styrofoam, so the butterfly is done now, and here's what it looks like. And pretty easy, huh? So thanks for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye.